Hello and welcome back everyone, and today I have for you a fantasy cast video for the challenge, The Island 2. Now back in season 16 of the challenge, we had a season called The Island, which was like a hybrid mixture of the challenge meets Survivor, and it was rough. It is rough to go back and watch it, especially because there was just a lot happening. The cast was miserable. There was a lot of name calling and bullying happening, ration food, no AC, and it was just a weird kind of format for the challenge. To go back and know what the challenge is today, to go back and watch it, it just seems really weird and kind of off. But when hearing people talk about the challenge and want something different, want a different kind of season, well, why not have The Island 2? Except Jonathan and I not only put together a cast list, but also changed around the format to make it fit and feel more like a challenge type of season. No more of these three-way face-offs where the two losers go up and face a vote, and then that's how the people get voted off of the island. I'm gonna be talking about the cast list, and then we're gonna go into the format of The Island 2. So without further ado, let's jump into the cast list. Jonathan and I came up with a 30 total contestant cast list, 22 returning vets, 8 rookies. So let's get into this, starting with the veterans in alphabetical order. We have, first starting out, Ashley Millionaire Mitchell. Ashley brings the drama, brings in the excitement of this challenge season, so let's bring her in. Bananas, of course, not only because he's on every single challenge season, but because he actually won The Island back in season 16. He was part of that finals team that won, so why not bring him on back, see if he can win it a second time. Then we have Bailey Dayton. She was on Big Brother, now on the challenge. Let's see how she does in a Survivor type situation. Next up, we have Stephen Bear, who was on Shipwrecked in the UK. Also, he was on X on the Beach UK, so he just likes beach stuff. Let's bring him onto the challenge island. Also, he's great for TV. Next, we have Big T, who was also on Shipwrecked. So again, let's bring her on there. Also, I think she's turning into a very big fan favorite after how she was talking about how she wants to go into an elimination and prove herself, and she's dying to prove herself. I want to see that intensity, that passion on this type of challenge season. The next one we have is CT. I miss him in Total Madness already, but also I think he would do well in a Survivor type style. He wasn't on the island season of the challenge the first time around. Let's bring him on this season. The next one we have is Derrick Kosinski. Not only do I want to see him back on a challenge season or any challenge season, but I specifically want to see him back on The Island 2 because he actually won back in season 16. He was part of the final team that won. So let's bring him back. Let's see how he does on The Island 2. The next one we have is Emily Scrum. She's very strong. I heard some rumors that she was talking about maybe wanting to come back for a season or two of the challenge. She was absolutely at the top of her game by the time she left in Rivals 2. Next one we have is Fessy. I think he's super impressive so far on Total Madness. And again, for the same thing of Bailey, we saw him on Big Brother. Now we see him doing well on the challenge. Let's see how he does in a Survivor type situation. Next one we have is Georgia Harrison. She was on Love Island. Not really an island, but kind of goes with the motif. And she was also on Celebrity X on the Beach UK. The next one we have is Jay. Now he's skyrocketed to being a fan favorite after his first and early performances on the challenge season 35 Total Madness. Let's bring him on another challenge season specifically that goes into his strong points, which is a Survivor type style. Then we have Jenny because she's a beast. The next one we have is Jordan. He wasn't around for The Island season 16. Let's bring him on this season. See how he does in a Survivor type way. Cam, because I miss her on Total Madness. I want to see her on every single challenge season that she will be a part of, and I think she could do well in this kind of format that I have laid out. Kailah, because again, in her rookie season on Invasion, there was a Survivor style type of play early on, and I would like to see her on more seasons as well. Laurel, because she's a beast. Yes, she was out early on War of the Worlds 2, but let's bring her in this type of game and let's see how well she does in eliminations and takes people's heads off, most likely. The next one we have is Leroy. I miss him in Total Madness and I want to see him back on a challenge season. And then we have Nani, of course, Swaggy C, because if you have Bailey on a season, you have to bring Swaggy C, and he's doing pretty well in Total Madness so far. Then we have Theo Campbell. So happy that he got the thumbs up for the challenge season 36, whenever that's going to shoot and film and come out. I'm happy that he's recovering well, and I miss him on Total Madness, and I want to see him on more challenge seasons. And again, he was on Love Island, again, not an island, but I would like to see him on a season like that. And then we have Tori, because if you have Jordan, let's bring on Tori, why not? And then we also have Wes Bergman, because there's a lot of speculation, and I've heard a lot of people talk that the people that would do well transitioning from the challenge to do Survivor, Wes is on the top of a lot of people's lists, and why not? Let's bring him in, see what he can do. He wasn't on the Island season 16. Let's see what he can do on the island too. And you might recognize that I don't have Kara or Paulie on this cast list, and it's mainly because on a Challenge Mania interview that Kara did, she said she would do any type of challenge season except for the island, so that's totally out of the question. She would probably decline the call no matter what. So without Kara, I just didn't put Paulie onto the season. And the 4 vets alts that I have is Rogan, Maddie, Kyle, and D. So now on to the 8 rookies that I have on this cast list. Now, for the challenge Total Madness, we had an influx of Big Brother players coming into the game. We had a total of 5, including Asaf from Big Brother Israel. And when looking at how good the Survivor players that have been on the challenge so far, Turbo and Jay, and how well they have done, and for how this season is formatted, I thought, let's have an influx of Survivor players coming into this game, into this season in particularly. So with that being the case, the 8 people that I have is Dean from Survivor US, Brett from Big Brother 20, Luke M from Love Island UK, and Jericho from Survivor Australia, where he actually won Survivor Australia. Then for the women, I also have Tessa O'Halloran from Survivor Australia, and we have Michaela Bradshaw from Survivor US, Kira Green from Love Island US. Let's open those doors for Love Island US. We've done it for the UK, and Love Island US is supposedly supposed to be getting a season 2. So let's open those doors with Kira. And then my last one is Megan Martin from American Ninja Warrior. I love her competitiveness. I love how strong she is, and I would like more representation from American Ninja Warrior than, say, just Ninja Natalie. And for the rookie alts, we have Tommy from Survivor US, Missy Bird from Survivor US, Ellie Brown from Love Island UK, and Kels from Too Hot to Handle. When watching Too Hot to Handle, Kels just really stuck out to me. He has that alpha male type of way about him. He's talking about how he's a lion. I love his stature. I love his build. I love his intensity. And I feel as though that he would do well in the challenge. The only thing is why I didn't put him on the main cast list is because Too Hot to Handle just came out. I don't know if he would be ready to go right then and there to be on this cast list for the island too. Now let's go on to the format of this challenge season, and just to get an idea of where this is going to take place, this is going to be like a beach, like mansion type of resort where it's kind of like the campsite of the Island season 16 minus the mosquito nets and all that other stuff. We're talking about a house with beds. There's going to be outside showering areas, so no inside showering areas, an indoor area to cook, and there's no rationing of food. I think that having no AC and having to sleep in beds and in kind of like an awning area instead of like a full inside area, and no AC is torture enough. I think that was a huge problem for the Island one, rationing food. Now this season is going to start off with a big first individual challenge. Kind of like in War of the Worlds 1, where we didn't get to see into the challenge house until everybody was done with that challenge. We're gonna have the same type of situation happening at the beginning of this game. However, before we go back to the challenge house, or before we even go to the challenge house, we're going to see who did the best. The top 3 finishers of that daily challenge is now going to be the team captains, as this is going to be a 3-team format for this challenge. They are going to pick their teams right there on the spot. It's going to be 3 teams of 10. Then we're going to have a challenge season where this is going to be 16 episodes long. So there's going to be 14 regular episodes and then a 2-part finale. And there is $1 million up for grabs. Now, it's going to be a little bit differently, as it's not going to be a full $1 million given to the first place team. This season is going to be distributed differently. So in the daily challenge, each team is going to go up against each other. And so the first place team is going to win safety, but not only that, the first place team each daily challenge will guarantee $20,000 into their team bank. And if you come in second place on the daily challenge, you will have to vote in somebody from your team into the elimination. And if your team comes in dead last, then the first place team gets to vote in somebody from their tribe to go in against the person voted in by the second place team. Then whoever wins the elimination wins $5,000 for their team's bank account. Now, on top of winning money for your team's bank account, you will be rewarded a life preserver. And what a life preserver does is it's given to the person who won that elimination, and they get to hold on to it. And so the next time that their elimination comes up, as this is going to be switching off between a guy and girl elimination. So for example, to clarify, say Jay gets voted in by his team to go into the elimination. He wins $5,000 for his team's bank account. Then he's rewarded the life preserver. So on the next guy's day elimination, he cannot be voted in, whether by his team or the first place team. Wherever his team finishes, he cannot be voted in on the next guy's day. Now, there's going to be a 3-part finale to the Island 2, as the first 2 parts, they'll be running the final as teams. After each phase, the last place team will be dropped. So the first day, we'll have all 3 teams running the final with whoever's left on their teams. Then heading into the night portion, TJ will announce which team came in last place. They will be totally eliminated, and their team's bank account will be put to whoever wins the first place, and it's going to be put into a big giant pot. Then in the morning, the 2 teams will compete in the next part of the finals. Whichever team comes in first will move on to the third and final part of the challenge finals. There, the team will go up against each other as individuals, kind of like vendettas, where the last team will be doing some sort of neutral puzzle situation, and then the money will be distributed by first place will win $500,000 plus their share of the team bank account and whatever was put into the final pot from the other 2 teams' bank accounts that lost. Then second place will win $150,000 plus their share of their team's bank account. Third place will win $25,000 plus their share of the team's bank account. And fourth place will win their share of their team bank account. If the final team has more than 4 players, the players who place outside of the top 4 will earn no money. If the final team has less than 3 or 4 players, then the third place money goes to the first place winner. And that's what Jonathan and I came up with for the Island Challenge Season Fantasy Cast List and format. What do you think about what we came up with? Let me know that in the comment section below. What do you think about the cast list? Do you think there's some other person that we kind of overlooked, or do you think there should be an alt where a main cast member is, and vice versa? Let us know in the comment section below. What do you think about the format of the show? What do you think about the Island back in season 16? If you've watched it, what do you think about that compared to what we came up with? Is there something that you think is different? Like maybe you like the life preserver situation, but you would like it in a different kind of light? Let us know anything and everything you have to say about our fantasy cast list and format for the Island 2 down in the comment section below. And do you think this is even a good idea at all? Or do you think they should just continue doing just challenge type challenge? Let me know that in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. While you're down there, hit that like and subscribe button. I'll be back really soon with more challenge content, brief histories, top 10s, top 5s, fantasy casts, and much more. Also join me on Thursdays for the challenge review and recap, survivor review and recap, and join me on Fridays for Tiny Table Talk for the challenge Total Madness. But until then, peace.